Right, we're back live with you tonight here on In Focus. Let's begin here. Now, the construction industry is another sector forecast to face strong headwinds this year, with load shedding adding to the plethora of challenges. So, what's the call to the government? Cut the red tape to enable the industry to find its own alternative energy source. Our business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo filed this report.
Over the last couple of weeks, several industries in South Africa's economy has called on the government to intervene in dealing with load shedding, and the construction industry is now joining the fray, saying that it's really affecting productivity. Trifina Hokong, founder and CEO at Triumphant Zoe, a quantity surveying consulting business within the construction industry, says for projects to be completed requires a team effort between many stakeholders, and load shedding leads to costly delays.
When load shedding happens, it actually really delays projects. It affects the productivity, it affects the coordination of information. Let's say, for instance, as professionals, you want to have a meeting, and as you're driving there, the robots are not working, everybody is late, or you're trying to have an online Zoom meeting, and then the power goes off, and then the other professional is not able to join the meeting, which means then that professional is not able to report back on that project status, and then there is again more delays, more lack of coordination. And delays means money, because there is always that triangle. You have cost, you have time, you have quality, and all these three are interdependent on one another. So the longer the project takes, the more expensive it's going to cost.
While the director of MDA Consulting, Director Ian Massey, agrees that load shedding is a real threat to the industry, it's the statutory requirements set on the industry that are the immediate threats.
The main issue for contractors these days, which I think will be a serious problem for them to deal with, is this question of the treasury requirement that they allocate a large percentage of the contracts, up to about 30% of the contract value, to contract participation goal SMME contractors. So there's a problem with availability. There's a problem with the actual service which those small emerging contractors can provide, and there's also, allied to that, the limited work opportunities available for people.
Hokong concurs, adding that what the industry needs, especially smaller players trying to scale their businesses, is for the government to pay on time and cut red tape, enabling the industry to find its own alternative sources of energy.
In the construction space, people just need to get paid. Even though we have the load shedding issue happening, we are still finding that there are certain organizations and even government departments that are still not paying service providers for the work that has been completed. And so if we can get consultants and contractors to be paid on time, that is what we are calling the government to focus on removing the delays in payments of service providers. That's first of all. And then in terms of the load shedding, there definitely needs to be some additional incentives, some additional support of small businesses within the construction space.
South Africa's construction industry has wobbled back to its feet after the COVID-19 pandemic, with the industry reporting not only job losses, but a loss of productivity as well. For Newzroom Afrika, Channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Johannesburg.